Hello and welcome to sudoCODE. Last time we discussed the CAP of CAP theorem, and I cannot wait to explain the concept of CAP theorem. But before moving ahead, let me tell you that CAP theorem is not just the definition that you can choose only two of these three properties, or you have to forfeit one of the properties, or what are the different use cases where you can have CP and AP. CAP theorem is much more complicated. It has a lot of flavors, and you will be surprised to know, many of you might already know, that CAP theorem has different degrees and it is spread over a spectrum. I know all this might sound very confusing, but all this is the basis of so many interview questions that you can get asked once you start digging into CAP theorem. So let's get started. Last time, we understood the concept of consistency, availability, and partition tolerance using the example of restaurants which used to take orders using a notebook. Now, this time, I want to explain the same concept using a distributed system and define each of these properties in technical terms. Let's say you have a basic distributed system which has only two nodes, A and B. Now, how would we define consistency? Consistency is defined as any read that is happening after a latest write, all the nodes should return the latest value of that write. I know it sounds a little confusing. Let's see an example. Let's say there is a value at x, which is 1 in both of these nodes, and consistent writes are happening. So write 1 happened, which made the value 2. Write 2 happened, which made the value 3. Both nodes have the values 2 and 3. Since this is a distributed system, nodes are able to communicate and replicate the values. Now, after write 2, when a read happens, read x. If a read x happens on A, it should return the latest value of x that has been written by latest write, which is 3. If this same read happens on node B, B also should return the latest value, which is 3. If both the nodes are communicating well and are connected and the data is replicated properly, basically if both the nodes are following consistency, then both the nodes are going to return the value 3. This is how we define consistency. Now let's define availability. The property of availability entails that every available node in the system or every node in the system should error in a non-response format to any read request without the guarantee of returning the latest write. Again, it sounds very confusing. If the system is available and a read happens on A, it will return the value for read. However, it will not guarantee that it will be the latest available write or the latest value of that particular X. Same thing applies to B also, that it will respond, it will not error, it will respond to the read request, but it cannot guarantee if the value that it is responding with is the latest updated value or not. Now, partition tolerance entails that the system will be up and running, the system will be responding to all the read and write requests, even though the communication channel or the communication messages between A and B are dropped due to some reason or take a lot of time, which is beyond the acceptable timeout. This is what partition tolerance entails, that even if the network communication between two nodes break, still these two partitions should be able to function independently and respond to all the incoming requests. To sum it up, consistency means node returning the latest value of write. Availability means system and all the nodes not resulting in an error returning the values without a guarantee that those will be the latest updated values. And partition tolerance is that system keeps on functioning, keeps on responding to the request, even if the communication between the two nodes in a system has broken. I hope the technical definition of all these three terms is clear. Now, any theorem or any proof, whenever we study or we read, it is always easier to understand if we try to disprove it. So that's what we are going to do. What we are going to try is we will try some scenarios and we will try to disprove the theorem and then let's see what happens. But before that, we have to know what is the theorem. So theorem is given by Mr. Brewer. I have given some links in the description with the original paper and the slides and follow-up articles. You can refer them if you want to go in deep. But basically, the theorem states that any network shared system wants to have these three properties. These three properties are desirable for any distributed system. And in such a system, having all three properties is nearly impossible. You have to forfeit one of them, or you have to give up or sacrifice one of the properties. Having said that, of course, you can sacrifice partition tolerance or availability or consistency. But as we discussed in the previous video as well, partition tolerance is something which happens due to network failures. And network failures is a condition in distributed systems which we do not have complete control over. So network failures are going to happen. And hence, practically, partition tolerance becomes a mandatory property to support. Like you have to support partition tolerance, you have to deal with network failures, and hence you cannot give up on partition tolerance. Now, the whole concept boils down to whether you would choose consistency or availability. But before walking into those scenarios, let's try to disprove CAP theorem first. Okay, let's try to disprove CAP theorem. For that, let's assume there's a basic distributed system with two nodes, and we say that it can support consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. So we have this system. Initial state x equal to 1. A write happens x equal to 2 on A. A sends this value to B. B updates it, returns the acknowledgement. A also updates it and gives the success. Okay. Next time when a read for x happens at A, the value written is 2, or the read happens at B, the value returned is 2. Well, good, the system is consistent. Are the nodes available? Is the system available? Any read that is happening on A or B is returning in a response. The response is not an error response, and the response is giving the latest value. That is good. It is not guaranteed to give the latest value, but in this case, it is giving. So the nodes are available. Up until this point, everything is fine. Now the partitioning happens. Now system has divided into two partitions. Let's see what happens. After partitioning, one more write happens. A tries to communicate to B that x is 3, but couldn't, so it just updates the value. When the read happens on B, B returns 2. When the read happens on A returns 3. What's happening here? A is following the consistency. It is returning the latest updated value. B, however, is following availability. The node is available. It is giving a response. It is not giving the latest updated response, which it is supposed to do. But if B was following consistency model, it should have given the value 3, or it should have said that no, I cannot give out the latest value because I don't have the updated value. Okay, that means in this scenario, the system, even though it is available, it is not consistent. One read is giving the value 3, one read is giving the value 2. So in this state, system is able to tolerate partitions and system is available. But is it consistent? No. Now let's suppose we say the system has to be consistent. B also has to return the correct value. In that case, what would happen? If we try to query B, B will say, since you expect me to be consistent and I don't have the knowledge of latest updates, I will simply decide to not return any response, or I will return an error response. In that case, B has forfeited availability. What happened? The system became consistent and partition tolerant, but we had to compromise on availability. If you try to run through these scenarios, we will find that consistency and availability cannot stand together. But again, due to this disproving and due to the definition of CAP theorem, it seems that you have to let go of 100% consistency or 100% availability, and you can choose only one of them, which is not entirely true. Let's see to how much degree we can achieve consistency or availability, or are there different degrees of consistency and availability or not. Now let's try to see how consistency has different degrees and how availability has different degrees. When I say degrees, I mean to say that even though you cannot provide 100% consistency, you can provide consistency to some level. Similarly, you cannot provide availability 100% if you are going for consistency, but you can still have some amount or some degree of availability in your system. Let's see how. Let's say A and B are partitioned. So, and you have decided to keep on consistency. And we have to support partition tolerance. So you're trying to sacrifice availability. Cool. When you try to read, you only read from A and B is not taking any reads. But what B can take? B can take writes. Okay. If B can take writes, let's say the value of X is 1 here. Earlier the value of X was 1. Now B has taken write as 2 and A has taken write as 3 at some other timestamp, where B has taken 2 at some other timestamp. When this network reconnects, both the nodes will have the log of changes that happened and they will reconcile. They will reconcile on the latest value, which is 3, and B will also update it to 3. This means that even though you're going for 100% consistency, when partition happens, one of your node stops serving reads, but it can still give writes. So let's say out of 200 requests where you had 100 reads and 100 writes, and when you shut down B completely, you were not able to take any reads or writes, and you were able to serve only 100 reads, like 50% of the request. But if you allow this to have some degree of availability, you will be able to take those 100 write requests. In that case, what would happen? All the reads will always serve consistent data, but all the writes would also be accepted by the system, and the availability of system would not go down to 0%, or at least we are able to serve a higher number of requests. Now let's talk about degree of consistency. Let's say again this partition has happened and the reads are happening, and they are resulting in inconsistent values. But we have devised a system that whenever the system comes up, whenever the partition gets over, what we would do, we would again make the nodes reconcile their data. And until that time that system reconciles, or the partitioning stops, or it has been recovered from, until that time, we will allow the request to read dirty data. The request going to B will see the value 2, older value, and the request going to A will see the value 3. But after some time, both the nodes will reconcile and both the nodes will start giving the same value. This is called eventual consistency, that eventually your system is going to be consistent when it has recovered from partition. That means your system is always available because B is supporting availability. It is responding without a guarantee of latest update. A is also responding. The data is not consistent, but you have made peace with that gap of inconsistency for some time, and you're relying on a partition tolerance recover mechanism where the nodes will be able to talk to each other and reconcile on a latest value. This is called eventual consistency. Now, the thing is, how do you decide whether you have to forfeit availability completely or consistency completely, or you can make a dynamic structure and have little bit of both? It completely depends on the use case. If these two nodes belong to an ATM machine, then definitely you cannot allow the inconsistency to occur, because in that case you wouldn't be able to make proper transactions. Suppose one person has withdrawn money from one ATM, and the same person, if he or she is trying to log in from the account, there will be a discrepancy in the system. But if it's something like the number of views on your YouTube video, then a little inconsistency is fine, because within few minutes the system is going to catch up. In case of YouTube, loading of page and loading of video is more important than the exact number of counts. So it is okay if the counts are lagging behind, or if you're simultaneously opening the same account or the same channel on two different devices, you don't have the same count of views. It will catch up eventually, and after 4 minutes, 5 minutes, or even an hour, the numbers will start to seem consistent. So next time when you go in an interview and you talk about CAP theorem, always ask the use case. Try to understand if the system that you are asked to build, that system needs a high degree of consistency. Is it a transaction based system? Is it a mission critical system like booking seats on flights, or like booking movies, or like something related to banking. In such mission critical things or like real time things, you have to have a lot of consistency and you can sacrifice availability. But in other systems, as I mentioned, like YouTube or Facebook likes or other analytics data, which is not of high importance, you can actually let go of consistency and choose to be available. Ask questions about the system requirements. Ask questions how much consistency is important, how much availability is also important. Just clarify the requirements of the system and then try to gauge the amount of consistency and amount of availability you would require. Now I will tell you something related to partition tolerance, that how you can tweak partition tolerance as well. Since the start of this video and previous video, I had been saying that this A and B are connected over a network and that network has broken. So we decided, okay, we have to tolerate partition. The network failure has occurred, and now we have to either sacrifice consistency or availability. But if you think little out of the box, what could be one more solution to not make this happen or to recover from this fault that has happened? You have backup network connections. So if one network fails over which A and B are connected, you switch to another network. If that one also fails, you switch to another network. You have multiple backup networks. That way you can have all three of them. But of course, this is going to be very costly and complicated to implement. So while interviewing or while talking to any of your fellow engineers or anyone about this, you have to consider the factors like cost as well and the infrastructure setup and deployments as well. Like would this even be feasible or not? So that was 80% of the CAP theorem that I know. I know a little bit more, but it might be slightly beyond the scope of the video. But if you are interested, there are a lot of links in the description. Please go and find out. And if you have any questions, any doubts, or any comments, please feel free to add them in the comment section. I'll be happy and glad to answer the same. In this video, we have talked about eventual consistency, we have talked about partition tolerance, backups, we have talked how the nodes can reconcile after recovering from the failure, and so on and on and on, including the different degrees of consistency and availability. I hope this gives you a lot of confidence about the understanding of the theorem and how to apply it in different areas. And I hope you do well whenever you get such kind of whenever you get questions based on CAP theorem in your interviews. If you have any more ideas, if you want to know any more use cases of CAP theorem, let me know in comments and I'll try to make a video on same. Till then, take care. See you in the next video.